a organization of terror. Under what authority can he designate domestic terrorist organizations? Because there's no law that enables the president or any agent of the government to do that as opposed to foreign terrorist organizations which are designated by the Secretary of State.
So as the president said, he has people looking at that, and as you know, we've discussed here over the last 2 weeks, there's an increase in domestic terror. The director of the FBI, Christopher Wray, made that clear on July 23rd in a sworn testimony to Congress most of you didn't cover because it was the day before Mueller's not so impressive testimony. You were telling us what he was going to say instead of listening to Director Wray, but Director Wray has made clear that there is an increase in the number of arrests that the FBI is making with respect to domestic terror. That includes white supremacy. It also includes Antifa, probably includes anti-Semitism, all forms of hate, which does come in many different forms. So the president's looking at, I don't know how anybody can watch the tapes coming out of Portland and think that any of our First Amendment rights to free speech somehow extends to physical violence. It simply does not. You cannot just pick and choose who you think is criminally reprehensible and worthy of punishment based on their politics, whether they have a red MAGA hat on or something else.
No, but you also can't just make up domestic terrorism.
Well, the president's not making anything up. He's responding to the increase in domestic terror, which includes white supremacy, which includes Antifa, which includes anti-Semitism. And I'm, for one, very happy that the FBI is focused on both international terror and domestic terror.
The president said yesterday that most economists say that there's not going to be a recession. Do you know specifically who he's talking to about that, where he's getting that from?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
But I'd like to know where you're getting your information from, because it's nice to see the media finally cover the Trump economy. You seem to cover it only when you can use the Sesame Street word of the day, recession. And so you're using a tweet here or a report there or an economist's words here and there. The fact is the fundamentals of our economy are very strong, and you know it. We have more people working in this country right now than ever before in the nation's history. We have more people coming off the sidelines going back to work. We have people who don't just have job availability, but now they have job security. In fact, they have job mobility. They can go and try to compete for one of the other 7 million plus jobs that are available apart from the one they may already have, or the part-time one they may have, or one that doesn't have sufficient benefits or is too far from home for them, so that they've got all these choices. It's called freedom and free market. Contrast that to Medicare for all and Green New Deals and taxes for everyone else and free health care for illegal immigrants. That would tank our economy, and everybody knows that. So I see now post Mueller bomb, not bombshell, post hunt for collusion that never happened, conspiracy indictments that will never come to pass. I see now that we're focused on the economy, because you know that is the president's strongest suit, that a majority of Americans approve of the way he's handling the economy in most legitimate polls. So the fundamentals are strong. I would also say that consumer confidence is very high. The optimism is there. 500,000 plus manufacturing jobs since the president got elected. 6 million plus new jobs since the president got elected. The unemployment rates are low. The growth rates are higher. The confidence levels are high. And that matters. Consumers are spending their money. And many of them are saving, and many others don't have to dip into their savings to meet basic household needs. So he didn't need the proverbial magic wand that his presidential predecessor claimed he would need. He just needed the courage that others did not have to cut taxes across the board, including for job creators and businesses and employers, to double the child care tax credit, to have an energy development program in this country that now lets us be a net exporter of natural gas and oil for the first time at these levels, and the deregulation agenda. You know, we hear from many property owners, small business owners, aspiring small business owners, that the deregulatory agenda, which is basically about 12 or 13 old regulations out for every new one in, and that new one in is important too, because regulation, if done properly, is very important to our nation, safety and well-being. The small business owners say the deregulation is just as important as the tax cuts. So the fundamentals remain strong. It's good to hear people covering the economy again after such a lengthy hiatus. But again, you don't have a magic wand to say, and now we're in a recession. Last one.
What kinds of regulations and guns does the president like?
So when the president says we need to fix the mental health system, look at mental health, he's not saying everybody who is in treatment for mental health is a shooter. He's not saying every shooter has mental health issues. What he's saying is that we have specific incidences where that has been an issue and has been ignored. I am very grateful and overwhelmed really with joy and gratitude to all of the first responders who worked arduously to stop those 3 would-be mass shooters just in this last week. It's been reported because people are learning that when you see something, say something.
Alright guys, we're going to cover a little bit of news today, and we're starting out over here on bigleaguepolitics.com. bigleaguepolitics.com. And we got here, Trump administration is making serious progress to end the longest war in American history. Subtitled, Trump is negotiating a peace plan for Afghanistan with the Taliban. And it was posted August 19th, 2019. We got an old picture of Donald Trump, and he's got peace signs in his hands there. It says here, President Donald Trump foreign policy is a stark departure from his predecessors, as he has chosen to extend the olive branch to world leaders reviled by the military industrial complex rather than provoke them. This here olive branch, guys, you'll notice it also in the seal of the President of the United States, and this olive branch and the symbolism that you can find in the seal of the President of the United States all goes back to your scriptures. And later videos I'm going to explain some of these things, but I just wanted to bring that up. Now, his talks with the Taliban in Afghanistan are proving particularly fruitful. Trump met with national security advisors and his cabinet members last week to hear from Zalmay Khalilzad, I'm not sure how to say that one, who is the chief U.S. envoy for peace talks with the Taliban. Others at the meeting included Vice President Mike Pence, CIA Director Gina Haspel, National Security Advisor John Bolton, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, and Defense Secretary Mark Esper. The first step of the proposed peace deal would involve the removal of approximately 5,000 of the 14,000 U.S. troops currently stationed in Afghanistan. In return, the Taliban would renounce al-Qaeda and sanction the anti-American terrorist group by preventing them from recruiting, fundraising, and training in Taliban-controlled areas of Afghanistan. The White House is being vague about the particular details of the negotiations. Deputy White House Press Secretary Hogan Gidley said that, quote, discussions centered around our ongoing negotiations and eventual peace and reconciliation agreement with the Taliban and the government of Afghanistan, end quote. The meeting went very well, Gidley said. President Trump also released a tweet without specifics claiming that the two sides are coming closer together. And here's the tweet here, posted August 16th, 2019. Said that just completed a very good meeting in Afghanistan. Many on the opposite side of this 19-year war and us are looking to make a deal, if possible. Trump negotiations for peace in Afghanistan are angering hawkish neoconservative lawmakers in Washington, D.C., led by Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican of South Carolina, who was a vocal proponent of the disastrous war in Iraq. To argue for endless war, Graham said that, quote, to trust the Taliban to control al-Qaeda, end quote, and extremist groups in Afghanistan as a replacement for U.S. counterterrorism force would be a bigger mistake than Obama's Iranian nuclear deal. And I actually totally disagree with that. But anyway, I hope President Trump and his team make sound and sustainable decisions about radical Islamist threats emanating from Afghanistan, the place where 9/11 originated, Graham said. Representative Liz Cheney, now this is a Republican, and said daughter of former Vice President Dick Cheney, also opposes President Trump's peace push in Afghanistan. She implied that Trump is pushing for a, quote, phony deal, end quote, with his current negotiating. So here's her tweet, Representative Liz Cheney. Accepting phony deal that puts America's security in the hands of the Taliban would mean conceding defeat to al-Qaeda, the group responsible for killing nearly 3,000 Americans on 9/11. See my full statement below. then it goes on to say here, however, Trump is acutely aware that he was elected to bring the troops home. His America First foreign policy is opposed to putting U.S. troops in harm's way in order to be the policeman of the world. And then we'll quickly listen to the short 27-second video here.
I love our country. I'm the President of the United States of America. I'm not the President of the world. And as long as I'm president, America will never bow to a foreign nation like we were for so many years.
And then, of course, it goes on to say that the same thing that the video said there. Then we have Senator Rand Paul, Republican, is calling for President Trump to receive a Nobel Peace Prize if he pulls off this historic Afghanistan peace deal. Perhaps the one that was erroneously given to former President Barack Obama. And here's that. And then with the Democrats becoming more violent and deranged by the second, it looks like Trump will be the choice for peace and prosperity that is on the ballot during next year's general election. And that's the end of the article. Now, a couple things I want to say here. First of all, you got 9/11 brought up in this article, and 9/11 had absolutely nothing to do with Al-Qaeda per se. This has been proven time and time again, guys. If you don't know what happened with 9/11, get online and research it out. It was undeniably, unquestionably an inside job. Had nothing to do with Al-Qaeda. It just became an excuse for them to write some laws and to get us over there in Afghanistan to control things that were going on over there. That's all that's about. Period. And then as far as Senator Lindsey Graham, who posted that, where is that at? Endless war, Graham said, to trust the Taliban to control Al-Qaeda and extremist groups in Afghanistan as a replacement for U.S. counterterrorism force will be a bigger mistake than Obama's Iranian nuclear deal. And absolutely no, it won't. The whole fact of the matter is that we are a nation, actually supposed to be a nation standing on a hill, a light on a hill, that goes out and maintains peace in the earth, spreading the gospel of peace. We're not supposed to be policing the world, just as Donald Trump said in that short video. That's not our job. Our job is to stand here in America, make America first. That is, take down the elite and the cabal, the deep state, whatever the heck you want to call these evil, wicked people that have been controlling the United States. Take them down here in America, get America back to its roots, back to its foundations, which, for those of you that don't know, the United States was literally created on the concept or idea of covenanting with God Almighty, with the Creator, with the God of Isaac, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? If you don't know these things, that's okay. I will have videos coming out that's going to clearly show that that is the case, and that the United States was not accidentally created, not accidentally discovered, none of those things, that it was all on purpose, and it will bring your faith absolutely skyrocketing up to the dome, up to the firmament, when you realize that this whole time, all the way to this very second, your Father in heaven and the Lord Jesus Christ, the King of the earth and of kings, because you're a king and a priest, has been and continues to be in control to this very day. And it's very clear when you know the true history. There is a reason that these guys took us over. And the reason is actually legit, scripturally speaking. It's absolutely legit. But mainly they wanted to make sure that we forgot who we were, and that's why nobody knows where they come from. Who is the United States? How come it's not in the Bible? And blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? The United States, Great Britain, Australia, New Zealand, all these areas over here have no idea who the heck they are. They don't know where they come from. All these the Chinese, they know who they are. The Russians, they know who they are. Everyone knows who they are except for the people in the West. Okay, and so there's a mystery there that has to be unraveled at some point. But anyway, the point here in this article, guys, is that there is serious progress being made to end this 19-year-long war that has been going on over there, and was escalating as long as we had Obama, Clinton's, Obama's, Bush's, and then eventually Hillary and all these people into office. It was completely destabilized over there, and now there has been progress made to stabilize that particular area. And there's a reason there's instability over there, if you understand the Rothschilds and you understand what was going on there and how all that came about in order to create the chaos that they wanted to maintain in the Middle East over there. But let's move on to the next article. All right, over on the Daily Mail, we've got another article, and this article here is tied in with yesterday's video. Down there on the ticker, down at the bottom of the video, I had put breaking news that 3 people had been arrested that were planning to do mass shootings. And here on the dailymail.com, we have, it says here, Democrat moment would be dramatic moment would be mass shooter was arrested at gunpoint after his ex-girlfriend showed police a slew of threatening texts in which he said he wanted to shoot dead 100 people to break world kill record. And it goes, here's the points that it gives us. It says Tristan Scott Wicks, 25, was arrested Friday in Daytona Beach Shores, Florida. His ex-girlfriend, who was not named, showed police alarming texts he sent her. Volusia County deputies said Wicks expressed his desire to, quote, break a world record, end quote, for the most kills, allegedly writing, quote, a good 100 kills would be nice, end quote. He also wrote that he wanted to die and, quote, have fun doing it, end quote, deputies said. Wicks had apparently already decided on a target, but did not say what it was. A hunting rifle with 400 rounds of ammo were found at his apartment. Wicks was one of 3 men arrested last week for threatening a mass shooting just 2 weeks after the U.S. saw 2 massacres that left 29 dead in 13 hours. Connecticut police arrested Brandon Wagshole, 22, on Thursday, August 15th. James Patrick Reardon, 20, was arrested and booked into jail on Saturday for threatening to carry out a shooting at a Jewish community center in Ohio. So here's a picture of him here. But it says here, a Florida man accused of threatening a mass shooting detailed his plan to kill 100 people in a slew of threatening text messages to his ex-girlfriend, police say. Body camera footage shows the moment 25-year-old Tristan Scott Wicks was arrested Friday outside of the supermarket in Daytona Beach Shores after his ex, whose name was withheld, showed the alarming messages to the authorities. The Volusia County Sheriff Office said Wicks expressed his desire to, quote, break a world record for longest sick confirmed kill ever, allegedly writing a good 100 kills will be nice. He also wrote that he wanted to die and have fun doing it. Investigators said Wicks had already decided on a location, but did not say what it was. He allegedly told authorities he was fascinated with mass shootings, but claimed he didn't own any firearms. A hunting rifle with about 400 rounds of ammunition were later discovered at his apartment, according to the police. Wicks was one of 3 men arrested in the last week on charges of threatening a mass shooting in Florida, Connecticut, and Ohio. Just 2 weeks after the country saw 2 devastating massacres that left 29 dead in 24 hours. And here's some pictures of him here. And then it goes on. Speaking to reporters on Saturday, Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood described Wicks as psychotic. Okay? Again, psychological operations. They have psychological issues. They are mentally ill. Okay, this is the same reoccurring theme that continually, consistently, and constantly keeps coming up, whether Trump is talking, news reporters are talking, or who's talking. There is a psychological battle that is taking place on the youth in our nation and all over the earth, guys, not just here in the United States. These are all right around 20 years old. Now, let's read the text messages here. Here's the text messages. A school, this is him texting his girlfriend. A school is a weak target. I'd be more likely to open fire on a large crowd of people from over 3 miles away. I'd wanna break a world record for longest confirmed kill ever. Next one. I want to open fire on a large crowd of people from over 3 miles away before I die, and I need a spotter. And he put a laughing cry face emoji. On the next one he says, what you want to do after the fact is your own business. If you want to plan to escape, we can work on that, but I don't intend on walking away alive unless I see it fit. And then the next one, but a good 100 kills would be nice. I already have a location, and they put a laughing cry face emoji. Is that bad? Next one. Well, even if you told someone, me saying I want to do it and think about it is not the same as actually doing it. LOL. Was kind of hoping someone would come into my life worth not doing it for the sake of all these people. Laughing cry face emoji. I'm not crazy, I just want to die and I want to have fun doing it, but I am the most patient person in the world. Okay, then it comes over here, back to where we were here. When you look at this kid's background, he is the profile of a shooter. He lost his job, he lost his girlfriend, he's depressed, he's got the ammunition, and he wants to become known for being the most prolific killer in American history, Chitwood said. Even in his interview with detectives, he talked in the third person, never in the first person. Chitwood called the unnamed woman who reported the text a, quote, hero. In the text, Wicks allegedly wrote that he didn't want to carry out the shooting at a school, calling it a weak target. He said he was more likely to open fire on a large crowd of people from over 3 miles away without disclosing where he had in mind. A good 100 kills would be nice. I already have a location. Is that bad? Rich wrote, according to the detectives. His text included multiple laughing and crying emojis. Some 12 hours after he made the threats, Wicks was arrested Friday outside of Winn-Dixie store at 2200 South Atlantic Avenue. And then there's this video here where you can watch this video. You can watch this video and see his actual arrest. It's nothing fancy, nothing major takes place. He basically just gives up and everything. And then you got all these other pictures here. He was handcuffed and frisked by the Daytona Beach Shores Department of Public Safety before officers had him lean against the bumper of his Cadillac SUV while they questioned him. Wicks apologized to officers for his reaction to being swarmed at gunpoint and asked Detective Megan Wilmot why he was being arrested. Is this because of an unpaid debt? Wicks asked. And Wilmot asked whether the suspect had any outstanding warrants, to which he replied, no, not that I know of. Wicks is being held without bail at the Volusia County Branch Jail on a charge of making written threats to commit a mass shooting. There are people in our communities who are motivated to be killers, Sheriff Chitwood said. All of these threats have to be vetted. There is no such thing in today's day and age as, I was just joking. You wouldn't just stand up on a flight from here to Chicago and say hijack and expect nothing to happen. Why would you post a threat on social media? You just don't do that. You're going to get locked up. Wicks's Facebook profile contains multiple posts expressing thoughts consistent with white supremacy. I am seriously getting tired of all these racist remarks toward whites. I mean, hell. I love Mexican and black people, but it seems like they hate me for being a white male and like to make assumptions. Not all, but many. Thank you for your love and support, friends from all races. We are humanity, he wrote in May 2018. Also, on Friday, a student at Seabreeze High School in Daytona Beach was arrested after the FBI received a tip about him posting a threatening message online. Chitwood said Wicks's arrest was not related to Seabreeze threat. Here's the Connecticut man who posted on Facebook about carrying out a mass shooting. Another potential shooter was arrested on Thursday after police say he posted on Facebook saying he wanted to commit a mass shooting and was spotted trying to purchase high-capacity magazines. A citizen contacted the Norwalk Police Department and claimed that 22-year-old Brandon Wagshaw was trying to buy large-capacity rifle magazines from out of state. He was charged with 4 counts of illegal possession of large-capacity magazines and is currently being held on a $250,000 bond. He's scheduled to appear in court on September the 6th. When authorities searched Wagshaw's homes, they discovered he was trying to build his own rifle and had a stunning arsenal of weapons, including a handgun, a rifle scope with a laser, multiple rounds of ammunition, body armor, a ballistic helmet, and tactical gear. Some of those weapons were registered to his father, authorities said. Pictures on the social media show him wearing a ballistic helmet and shooting video games. Cops said he had shared a post expressing an interest in committing a mass shooting, but didn't reveal the nature of the post. On Thursday, August 15th, Connecticut police arrested 22-year-old Brandon Wagshaw after he posted on Facebook saying he wanted to commit a mass shooting and was spotted trying to purchase high-capacity magazines. So here's a picture of Wagshaw. Here's a picture of him with his ballistic helmet. Photos of Wagshaw on his social media show him wearing a ballistic helmet and shooting video games. And then you have this other one here, white nationalist who threatened to shoot up Jewish community center in Ohio, James. So Ohio man James Patrick Reardon, 20 years old, was arrested and booked into jail on Saturday for threatening to carry out a shooting at a Jewish community center. Reardon threatened to shoot up the Jewish Community Center in Youngstown, located just 65 miles north of Pittsburgh, where a gunman killed 11 Jewish worshippers in a synagogue in October, in a video posted on to Instagram. The video was uploaded on the account at Ira Seamus and belonged to Reardon. It showed a man firing a gun and tagged the Jewish Community Center of Youngstown with caption, "Police identified the Youngstown Jewish family community shooter as local white nationalist Seamus O'Riordan." Seamus O'Riordan is the Gaelic version of Reardon's name. The video was shown to an officer on an unrelated call and launched an investigation on July 11th. With everything going on, we wanted to make sure we acted very quickly on this, New Middleton Police Chief Vincent D'Egidio said. When cops raided Reardon's home on Friday, they found multiple semi-automatic weapons, dozens of rounds of ammunition, a gas mask, a bulletproof armor, as well as anti-Semitic and white nationalist propaganda. An investigation revealed he was present at the deadly Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017 and was included in a National Geographic documentary on the rally. A search of his social media found posts filled with racial slurs, derogatory statements about minorities, and lots of images showing Reardon or others shooting guns. This is a person that has declared himself as a white nationalist. The hate crimes and everything else going on, we want to make sure we do our part to make sure this person was taken off the streets very quickly. He was charged with telecommunications harassment and aggravated menacing, and is being held in the Mahoning County Jail on a $250,000 bond. And here's the picture. It says here, FBI officials found multiple semi-automatic weapons and dozens of rounds of ammunition pictured at Reardon's home in Mahoning County. Reardon posted a video of a man firing a semi-automatic rifle where screams and sirens could be heard in the background and tagged the Jewish Community Center of Youngstown pictured in the post. During the raid on Reardon's home, the FBI discovered anti-Semitic and white nationalist material as well as body armor. And we can click on these guys, but it's showing you all 12 of the pictures. That's why I'm just going over them. Here's his social media here. Police said Reardon's social media feed, which has the description, just a local IRA man trying to live his life, was filled with racial slurs. And that's the basically the end of the document there, or the article there. So here we see that we have three different shooters that, because people were paying attention, staying alert, and understanding that these mass shootings are taking place all over the place, these three individuals were actually stopped and prevented from their mass shootings that they were going to do. So if you see something, say something, and that's what Kellyanne Conway had to say today. She had brought up, Q's message, and that is, see something, say something. And it's interesting that she brought that up today. I'm just going to go through these pictures real quick while I talk to you guys. You can just read down here at the bottom if you want to read. But it's interesting that she brought this up today because, what it does for us is it allows us to see that Q is still very much with us, even though he's not able to post onto the 8chan board until after the hearing is done with the board owner, that is. And so she specifically brings up Q and his statement that if you see something, say something. And that's exactly what allowed all of this right here, these three individuals, to be taken into custody and put into jail at this point. Hopefully they'll get the mental help that Trump did talk about. Hopefully, guys, who knows, all we can do is hope that that is the case. And hopefully we are told about it so that we can verify that that has been done for these individuals. But the point of the matter here is that we had three people that were clearly, unquestionably set out to do mass shootings, and one of them wanted to have at least 100 people dead by the time he was finished shooting from 3 miles away, making it difficult to locate the individual exactly where they're at, so he can continue to shoot while they try to locate him. So what we're seeing here is that people are definitely waking up, people are definitely starting to pay attention, and people are definitely starting to actually report these different things that they're seeing. And this is critical. This is something that I've brought up over and over again, and if you do see something, especially in these times, while the Democratic Party and the wicked ones are pinned up against a corner, this is the time that they will most likely do their various attacks or false flags or what have you. And so it's important to keep our eyes open and to pay attention to our surroundings and exactly what's going on all around us. It's very, very important, guys, because you don't know where these people are at. You don't know when they're going to strike. And if you keep your eyes open, you can catch them, just like the firefighter did with the concealed carry weapon. He noticed somebody that was loaded to the gill, obviously getting ready to shoot up something or somebody or somehow do something. And so he got his concealed weapon out and put it at the guy's head and said, look here, you're going to sit here, you're going to wait till the cops show up. I don't know what you're about to do, but you ain't moving. So all these things are showing that the American people are indeed waking up. The American people are realizing that the police are there indeed to help, even though really and truly, when you look at the brotherhood of the police and you see what's there, and I'm not going to bring that up at this point, not in this video, but then you begin to realize what these police officers are really all about, this brotherhood of police officers and who they are actually connected to. But nevertheless, that's why we should still have our peace officers, not the police officers, which are a corporation, which are there for profit. Therefore, they must do what they must do. They got quotas, which causes them to do illegal things and all these different things that go on that really the new people coming in don't want to even be involved in, but they don't have a choice if that's going to be their job and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, I just wanted to make it clear, guys, what was going on here as far as these shootings. There were 3 attempts and 3 fails, okay, because people were paying attention. And so it's going to be important that people continue to keep their eyes open until we get to a point where D-Class truly and genuinely comes out, and then we can begin to start the trials. Arrest these people and then begin to start these trials. We will have to continue to keep our eyes open, to pay attention to our surroundings, and to be aware of any kind of threat that might be out there, and to notify the proper people. And as I've said many times, if you have a license to conceal carry or what have you, always have a weapon on you at all times, no matter where you go, especially if you're going to go into a crowded area like Walmart or what have you, because those are highly targeted areas. Mainly when they do these shootings, it's going to be, wherever there's going to be a lot of people. So things like concerts or Walmarts or maybe churches or anywhere that you have a big gathering. That's where these shooters, that's really the term for them, shooters, that's where they go. That's where they head to, is anywhere that there's going to be a bulk or a mass of people, like hotels and those types of things. So anyways, guys, I'm going to get on off here. I love you guys. Get in the word, stay in the word, get the word in you. And remember, other than the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, guys, I'm telling you, the two most important things will always be love and truth. Always be love and truth. And then after that, peace and justice.